What's up? This is Miss G, 50 Shades of Glow on a Saturday in the ATL. I am trying to warm up to a live. I haven't been on a live in a long time, but I'm going to start a series every Saturday, jumping on when I want to continue to ask y'all the question, are y'all ready? It's 2023. We have been through a lot, but the reality is 2024 is coming. So what y'all got? What y'all got? I need y'all to share this with your friends, your family, and maybe if y'all been thinking about it, I can shed a bit of light. I'm not an expert, but shed a little light from my experience and what I have studied. Thank you so much for jumping on. So, I posed a question earlier this week. Are you ready? Are you ready for 2024, especially 2024 to 2028? The reality is, in my gut, it's not going to be good. For what we have experienced, we should already be in plans to do something. So I want to just give you a little bit of research, a little bit of, a little bit of research and a little bit of facts. All right. The United States has always been advertised and maybe at one time been the pinnacle. But as time has gone, it is definitely fake news. And the the persuasion of the media. The media the media pimps us. That's number one. The media is bought by big corporations that's connected to the right to not give us information they want us to know, but give us information that they want us to react to. But that's neither here nor there. That's just like a little sauce on it. Are you ready for 2024? 2024, what strong candidate does the Dems have? What candidates or potential candidates or strong candidates does the Republicans have? And the scary reality, the strongest candidate is the nightmare we had for 4 years. We can say, oh no, he's not going to get in. But what is there to offset it? So that is like the scary reality. So if that happens and we have got an intro and a little taste of how this country reacts and behaves, and I'm going to say behaves, not just from a racial standpoint, just how this country operates. Like there's no rules, it's whatever, it's lawless. And we have been fed that, the U.S. is this number one and this is where you need to be, when everyone knows the reality of it. So I hope everyone is, what's up, Akovi? So I hope that every one of you listening and your friends and family has a plan coming into 2024. Because what you don't want to do, like I said before, is be that person that has not prepared themselves. You already been given a warning, okay? And when the election year comes up next year, it's going to be this whole, get out the vote, all this and all that. But at the end of the day, and I am a, staunch voter, I don't play about that. That's not the issue, but in this administration, I hate to say, what was accomplished. Biden had one job basically to do, to have a glimmer of getting back in, is to approve a lousy $20,000 for your student loans that these colleges overcharge, and student loans people never pay back. So what is what harm would it have done if you canceled $20,000 in people that attempted to go to school when they owe 200 and 300 and $400,000? Okay, so that was his only one job, and he didn't get it done. So that's a problem for me, right? So going into this political season, we should be damn very afraid. But we have options. Don't ever forget that we have options. We as a people in 2023, if you have half a brain, you have an option. Unless you have decided that you are going to be enslaved to this culture we live in. I've had people tell me, oh, well, what you running for? This, we ain't running. We have options. We have options. Just because we were born here doesn't mean that we have to stay here. We need to be where we are wanted, where we can live a peaceful life. So, a little backstory for me: during COVID, all this crazy stuff was going down. So everyone was stuck in the house, watching TV, watching George Floyd get killed, finding out that, Ahmaud Arbery, they murdered him and tried to hide, like all of that stuff. And that was just too much for me. And I have a black son, and he was 17 at the time. And I'm like, I just can't take this anymore. I'm scared for him to go outside. This is not how you're supposed to live. This is not it. So you go to the grocery store, people getting killed. It's crazy. People going into daycare centers. That's how we living. That's how we're supposed to live because we were born in America. Come on, y'all. What the hell? What the hell you drinking if you really think like that? And no place is perfect. But hell, there's a lot of places that are better than this place. Get yourself prepared. Get yourself prepared. So I said, you know what? I'm watching, different stuff while I'm sitting here for 5 months during the pandemic. And I happened to stumble upon a recent documentary about the new South Africa. And I said, wow, that's right. South Africa went through some deep shit with the apartheid. And they have turned around since Mandela. And I saw the documentary, and it was mind-blowing how South Africa has did a shift. And if you talk to anyone that has visited South Africa of today, lives in South Africa, it is like a supersonic, fast-growing mecca. All right. So I am talking about Africa specifically, but if some of my people, and I'm going to keep it a buck, unfortunately, this country has us so brainwashed that we're scared of our own Africa. Come on. Come on. But, so I have options for my black people that are scared of Africa. Many people, it is a major, 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 major exodus out of this country. And not just with black people. I have seen on YouTube, you can go, I'm not telling you any cap. It's even white folks. this America is not the America that they was selling to us. It's not. Just a couple of statistics that I pulled up. We vote for folks based on potential education, crime safety, economic growth. Let's start with education. Let me give the stats, because I've seen in some of my research that the U.S. is number one. That's a lie. That's a lie. So I did some really deep diving. And the U.S. ranks 14, and that's very generous, in countries with in education. So they may be looking at universities or whatsoever or per capita, but not public education. Not public education, not education for underserved communities, not education for preschoolers. Okay. But they fluff that. So that's real interesting, right? Hey, Phil. The U.S. ranks 14 generously in education. All right. Number two, economic growth. Even though the U.S., again, has been noted as the superpower, the United States is losing its grip quickly. And they're losing their talent. They're losing their resources because of subletting, I guess the best word for it, subletting their resources out to other countries to do work for the United States. I work for a company, and one of their partners, all of their workers are out of like the Philippines. That's their call center, out of the Philippines. You'll probably call in a different call center out of the Philippines. Okay. So most of the clothes that we wear, you look on the tag, it's from China. So where is our economic solid strength? Where is it? Okay. And it's slipping every day because there's many people exiting. Go on YouTube, not in Google. Go on YouTube and get realistic, real people exiting the United States. And not just black folks, it's white folks also, because they're tired of it, because the quality of living is just not here. It's just not here. All right. So, I oddly enough, if people want to hear it or not, Africa is the second fastest growing economy at this point, right behind Asia. And Asia and Africa is, Asia has investments in Africa. Okay, China, Asia has investments in Africa to help their growth. Okay. So, and I've seen it. I see it in South Africa, Johannesburg, Cape Town, whatsoever. I see it Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya. Fun fact, people may not know because, again, the media has just groomed us to think that, you know, where we are here is like nothing better. But shockingly enough, Kenya, little flies around the head Kenya, as they show us, okay? They're the first country to operate on digital currency. Bam. First country, and really only country at this moment that operates on digital currency. They have an M-Pesa. Okay, the M-Pesa is basically how we use Zelle or Zelle or Cash App. But that's like that's their main money transfer. You can go into a restaurant and you don't need a credit card. They have a number on the wall, an M-Pesa number, and you just put in your phone the M-Pesa number and pay for the thing. That's in Kenya. That's in Africa, not in the United States. Next question. Next point. Crime and safety. There's no caption needed. If I need to elaborate where the U.S. falls in crime and safety, you're really having your head in the clouds. And again, every place has their shit, but crime and safety. So we vote for our leaders or whatever. They're gonna start, and you're gonna see commercials about the education, how they're gonna do for education, and how they're gonna do. It's just three things. Don't get it twisted. I've been in the political world. Three platforms they run on and they talk about, because it is pain points to people. That's it. Economics, crime and safety, education. Just check it out. Check it out when they start to advertise. That's all they're going to talk about to get you to vote for them. And what has it done? And again, I'm not saying do not vote. But on that, you need to vote, not just for the general election. That's where you make your big mistake. I would even go to the throes to say the general election, the presidential election, is the most unimportant election. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, it's the most unimportant election. But they hype it up because there's so much money behind that election. It takes like $1 billion, $1 billion, not a million, not 100 million, $1 billion to run and probably win being president of the United States. All about money, all about money, all about money, all about money. So they pump it. But the most important races are the ones right in your backyard, because those races are the races that affect you daily. And I know I'm talking to, my friends on Facebook. They're no dummies. So I know y'all know this. But again, I want y'all to share. And I'm giving just some background to you getting ready for 2024. So if you're not voting in the interim elections, if you don't know who your county people are, or your judges in your county, in your city, your council members, that's the most important. And then that builds up for your senators and your congressmen and all of going up to the president. Okay, but the president of the United States is usually just like a head figure, because quiet as it's kept, Congress runs this country. Congress and the Supreme Court. That's who makes the decisions for real. And you got to be a real strong person with a real strong back if you are the president, to get them, because the president has to convince them to make laws. But anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox on that. That's not what I'm here for. All right. So, talked about crime safety. The U.S. is 14 generously in education, but it's 38 out of 71 in math and sciences. All right. We're not even talking about tech. for math and sciences, and that was a few years ago. I would love for y'all to, if y'all are interested more, to check out not just what I say. I want you to check out a couple of people on YouTube. They have some great content. Number one is Blaxit, Blaxit. Okay, Blaxit. And I think they are, I forgot where they, I think they're in West Africa. I don't know, West Africa or East Africa. I'm not sure. Then Ashley in Africa. Ashley is a young lady from Atlanta. She got tired of it. People told her she was crazy. And single mom, two girls, couldn't take it no more. Picked up, she out. She moved to Africa. Everybody told her she was crazy. If you check her out, she's thriving. Her girls are thriving. She looks so relaxed. And she is building a major platform she's in South Africa. So, and she has a lot of great information. She's very intelligent. I think she was in DC. She was like a market manager or something in DC for a long time. Then she moved to Atlanta, and now she's in Johannesburg, but she was in Tanzania. Excellent to follow. She talks about the political things that's going on, the global economics that's going on, the BRICS collaborative that's going on. That interestingly enough, the United States has not been invited to. Just saying. Just saying. Tons of countries are part of the BRICS, and the United States has not been invited to be part of the BRICS. So what I'm seeing is there's going to be a shift in the United States global economy, based on what I'm seeing, how people are moving, getting tired of hearing about mass shootings every day, getting tired of, and scared of their children going to school, not getting the proper education, the quality of teachers have gone down. People are tired of that. People are really tired of that because we're not living in this country for free. Everybody busts their behinds and grind to live and survive in this country. But I'm seeing a shift that the money, and this is directed, I need my people, my black people to hear this. It is a known fact that, thank you, it's a known fact that African Americans are the number one spenders, over $1 trillion $1 trillion spending power in the U.S. Could you imagine if you took that and took it out of the United States? Now, you don't have to go to Africa, because when I went to Lisbon, when I went to Portugal, there's a lot of people that are migrating to Portugal. I don't know what the draw is personally, to be quite honest, but there are mega people moving to Portugal, black and white. Portugal, from what I experienced, was like a very nice DC. It reminded me of Washington, DC, with the architecture, very beautiful, but the people were, very nice, not aggressive, not on 10. So, and then it has like a beach, but since it has the weather pattern of like DC, the beach never gets warm enough to really enjoy, but it's beautiful. And there's tons of people that are migrating to Portugal, and I met them when I was in Lisbon in November, or not November, in February. I was invited to a dinner. Blew my mind. It was 30 people at the dinner. 30 people, just a random dinner. It's called Blacks in Portugal. A random dinner. Blacks in Portugal was like a meetup. 30 people were there. 30 people from the US was there. And me and two other people were the only people that didn't live there. That was just visiting. The other 26, 27 people had moved to Lisbon since the pandemic. A lot of this is going on since the pandemic. The mass exodus of people are leaving since the pandemic. I was at a random dinner. Portugal is really big. Lisbon is really big. It was 30 black people at this dinner, and 25 to 27 of them had left the United States and started a new life in Portugal. So that money. And there was a young lady, and it's all ages. A lot of people are like my age, but it's all ages. I met a young lady that had a little girl, 5 years old. And she said that she decided to leave because her daughter came home and said, "Yeah, mommy, we had a active shooter training at school today." She was like, "I'm done. Can't do this." And she said, "I'm out. If my daughter is gonna start normalizing that this is okay, she's out." Okay? So for those, my people, my black people that are scared of Africa, Europe is also an option. Okay? Lisbon is, Lisbon is a draw. Lisbon is a draw. So it's Blacks in Portugal. That's the name of the group that you can connect with. So I talked about Blacksit. I talked about Ashley in Africa. She gives a lot of information every day. This other YouTube, and all this is on YouTube. Another YouTube website is Black to Africa. And this guy, I've been following him, and he is a retired Marine, served this country for over 20 years. And he said that he just feels so played. And in his retirement, he decided to travel to the continent and, to travel throughout the continent. And he says that, for how dirty he's been done being a veteran, serving his country relentlessly, and no thanks at all. He says he has zero interest to try to come back here. So I think he's visited almost all the countries in Africa, and he gives commentary on that, his experience. So he could be a bit radical, but he has some good information. And then he's all over. Ashley she was in East Africa and South Africa. And then the real South Africa, you can check them out. It started off as a couple. The wife, I think, was a chiropractor or something, and the husband, I think, worked in government in D.C. Right before they moved to South Africa. They live in Johannesburg. They were in Georgia somewhere. I don't think they lived in Atlanta. I think they lived in Augusta. But, they talk about their experience, and they really show you how you can live in Johannesburg, and, they have different things going on. So just wanted to let y'all know that. So I just wanted to give y'all kind of a background Yeah, I wanted to give you all a little background and little bits and pieces of getting ready, because it's gonna be a real thing, and I don't want the people I care about to go through the unnecessaries of what we're gonna be going through, what we go through now, what we've gone through, and what we're gonna continue to go through, because it's not gonna get better. So, anyway. That's it for today. I know I have rambled on. Thank you so much for jumping in, and I will check y'all next week. Pass this along. Peace out.